Hi everybody, I'm back, and hopefully I'll do better than I did on my first video. That was my first video ever. I actually started my YouTube channel in 2022, but I never put anything on it. I've been wanting to do cooking videos. So I am making a copycat recipe of Ruth's Chris sweet potatoes this morning. I started out with, and I'll just bring it up to show, it's about 6 or 7 sweet potatoes. It's supposed to make 3 cups. I'm doubling this recipe, so I make a little bit extra for us to eat before the holiday, and I put it in ramekins. These little things. They're delicious. So anyway, you start off with your potatoes, and I'm gonna. Actually, you don't start off with your potatoes. You start off with your crust. It's like some kind of crust they put on top of it. I'll put the potatoes over here. I steamed my potatoes in my steam pot on the stove over there. It took them about an hour and 10 minutes. So I have here about 2 cups of pecans. I'm going to chop up, and I have a little hand chopper. And that's a good consistency. I might do just a tad bit more. Okay, and then you add this to your bowl. And I'm sorry I'm all over the place because I'm still new at this. Okay, I'm doubling my recipe, as I said. So I have 2/3 cup of butter, melted butter, that you pour onto the pecans. And I have 2 cups of packed brown sugar. And I have 2/3 cups of flour. And you mix that in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my rings off because I'm going to have to get my hands in here. It just makes a crumble, like a little crumble, that you crumble on top of the sweet potatoes. Now, I've never done this before ahead of time with the Ruth's Chris recipe. So I'm assuming that I can just put this crumble on top, and I'm gonna freeze my casserole. I'm not even gonna bake it until the day of. So what they tell you is when you make this crumble topping, you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator. Let's see, so it looks like that. I'm just gonna kind of put my hands in it. Let me see if I move the camera. And just kind of squeeze it together to make sure all the sugar is mixed up with these pecans. And you're supposed to kind of chill it in the fridge while you get the rest of the recipe together. Okay. So that looks pretty good. It's just crumbly. Now, I'm gonna go wash my hand, and then I'm gonna put this in a refrigerator. Okay. And really, you don't have to chill it that long. I just chill it while I'm putting all this other stuff together. While I'm putting those sweet potatoes together. Okay, so I have the sweet potatoes here. And I have as I said, it's supposed to be 3 cups, and I doubled it. So it's 6 cups. And I have 2 cups of white sugar. Actually, it's 1 cup of white sugar because what I do, it's so much sugar and they're already sweet. So I cut the sugar in half. We don't need all that sugar. Put the sugar here. Kind of mash these potatoes a little bit. And they're very tender, so they're mashing really easy. Okay, I have Remember guys, this recipe is doubled. I'll just tell you what I'm putting. 4 eggs. 4 eggs. That in there. 2 sticks of butter. 2 sticks. Melted. This is so unhealthy. And so delicious, especially for Thanksgiving. Okay, I have 1 teaspoon of salt. And vanilla. It calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'd always do more. So that would be 2 teaspoons. And I'm gonna go 3. And a little more, okay. I love vanilla. Okay, so I have my hand mixer here. And I'm gonna just mix it up. Hopefully I don't get it on my clothes. You mix it for about 3 to 4 minutes. So it becomes real creamy. Be careful with that butter. That butter is, when it's very liquidy, before it mixes in with those potatoes, it'll splash all over. I'm going to go a little higher now. They're very creamy. Okay. See if I can get this thing apart without getting this on me. The only thing I don't like about sweet potatoes is when you get those strings. And there's really no way to get around it because the bag of potatoes I bought were very fresh. I just bought them. And they were beautiful potatoes. But you got those strings on them. This in here. Move. Put my light back on. Okay. All right, if y'all saw my first video, I was in my pajamas and I looked ridiculous. And I really don't care. Because if you know me, I think people put too much emphasis on what people look like on the outside. Do the best with what God gave you. And that's it. Just be who you are. Be real. So many people try to be something that they're not, and it's really sad because who we are, you know, you have to laugh at yourself. I made a bunch of mistakes in that first video. I realized I have a little bit of ADD because I was trying to get a thought across and I started doing something else and completely lost track of what I was going to say. I didn't see it till I watched it again that I never said what I wanted to say. But just be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin. The Lord made us just like we are, and He loves us. And I really am hopefully going to be able to do these videos, and I'll have at least my family and friends watch them. And I like to talk, so I figure I'll talk a little bit while I'm making the videos. This is not supposed to be professional or trying to get a bunch of people to watch it. It's just for me and my family and my friends. And if other people want to watch it, that's wonderful. Okay, so I'm gonna pour these potatoes. You're supposed to grease it, but it's got so much butter in these potatoes, I don't think it's gonna make a big difference. Well, I was gonna make extra, but it looks like I'm gonna need all the potatoes for the Thanksgiving recipe. I have 2 other potatoes I'll steam for my husband, and I'll make him a batch in the ramekins. So this, after you get your potatoes into the pan, You set your oven to 375 and bake them. So I just licked my finger and it is delicious. These potatoes are delicious. I'm gonna get the crumbles and put on top. And let me see, like I said, I think you bake it at 375 and I'm not really sure how long because it's on my phone. You see, I should have all of this prepared before I get on this video, but I will come back at the end of the video. I'll put it on, I'll come back and tell you how long to bake this. You just crumble this on top. And I made so much of this. I made, because this stuff, the crumbly pecans and stuff, it makes a lot. I want to say last time I actually just did a single serving for that and put on top of my double potatoes because it's so much. I'll have the extra, so when I make my husband's potatoes and the ramekins, I'll be able to, I'll have some already made. So I won't have to come back and make more of the topping. Yeah, that's the word, topping. So, okay everybody, this has a ton of butter in it, so when it melts, and I'm not gonna cook it right now, so y'all aren't gonna get to see me cook it in the finished product, because I'm getting ready to put this sucker in the freezer. I make all my casseroles like a week or two before Thanksgiving. It's a little bit earlier because I have my grandbaby coming to stay with me the week before Thanksgiving, so I wanna make sure I get all this done. I'm gonna put the foil over it and I'm gonna freeze it and come back and bake it the day of Thanksgiving. I'll bake it. I think you bake it maybe 20, 30 minutes. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll come back on the video. I was trying to wash the crumbles out from underneath my fingernails when you wash your hands. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, just looked it up. We want to bake it for 25 minutes on 375. And everybody will love this recipe, I'm telling you. And if you want the exact recipe, it's just Ruth's Chris Copycat Sweet Potatoes. I found it online. So I'll see you again when I make my next video. I think I am gonna make artichoke casserole. It's gonna be my next one.